you hear 'em coming? It's the naked Jack Queen. Ain't much of a lady, but her strut is pretty clean. Oh, Billy and his long blonde lady been coming round again. White lines in a bottle of moonshine, gonna swallow down some sin. Red-eyed women and bad, bad men. Can't you hear 'em knocking? You better not let 'em in. Luna loving a lovely lady's been down at a cherry pie den. Swing around those silver poles to steal the souls of men. Hot money, baby, hotter eyes now. She ain't got many friends. Oh, Billy just sits on down. He's in a fit to spin. Red-eyed women and bad, bad men. Can't you hear 'em knocking? You better not let 'em in. Oh, everybody needs a home, babe. Don't it hurt so bad to be alone? Come on, baby, get down on my level. I wanna look in the eyes of the devil. Oh, yeah. Red-eyed women and bad, bad men. Can't you hear 'em knocking? Now you better not let 'em in. Can't you hear 'em knocking? You better not let 'em in.
So Jake and his band, they play the Tunes at Noon, which is hosted by the church studio. They do it every Saturday, sometimes on Tuesdays. They do a little hour set, which you guys kind of burned it up. I mean, it's already hot outside, and you came in hot, kind of stayed there. So, it's like, woo! So anyway, so then they were kind enough to come up after doing that and talk with us today. So we're going to get into it. Let's introduce yourselves.
I'm Jake Carlick. I'm the Jake of Jake and the Idols.
Paulette, I play drums.
Name's Ian McGuire, and I'm an alcoholic.
Tell him, Corn Daddy. And we're missing we're missing Greg. And we're missing Greg Zink, the other alcoholic.
Yeah, great.
We love you, Greg.
Yes, Greg had to go to another gig because, he's like that. And so he had to check what happened.
Keep it together, dude.
No, it's not. We gotta keep whatever.
We have to know the bass player.
We turn this guy's bass down anyway when he plays. I'm just kidding.
My name's Sky Slater. I play bass.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for being here. I'm glad that we got to sit down and, chill out for a little bit because you guys really tore it up. You did about, 10 songs?
10 songs.
And they were very, very live. We came up here after, I think, like the first 4, and we couldn't hear. These are supposed to be soundproof, but, that wasn't happening. It was pretty good. So the first song that you did was one of your original songs. It was called Red-Eyed Woman. Tell me how that came to be.
Red-Eyed Women.
Women, sorry.
It doesn't matter. Women. It came to be from, I was fixing a double neck Fender lap steel, and in the test I came up with the front riff of it, or the beginning riff of it, and I showed it to the band. Not everybody was crazy about it, and then I got with Sky to jam in his garage. We had this like drum loop machine going, and I was like, well, I know I've pressed this on you like a million times, but it's long enough to where you've forgotten probably about it. So I played it, and we kind of jammed it, and he liked it, and we got into it, and then what was your roommate's name?
Tyler.
Tyler, yeah, he's a English major.
He's an English major, but he's a therapist now.
Yeah.
And
we need that too. So
Did he go into therapy because of y'all?
Probably.
Rehearsing in the
Probably.
garage? Yeah.
probably.
I think it was the first time for him to even meet Jake because he didn't really come out.
Yeah, we were just jamming in there, and I had usually how I deal with songs is I get the riff going with it, and then I kind of have the vocal hook, but I never know where I'm going with it from there. So I had the Red-Eyed Women, Bad Bad Men thing, but I had no idea where to go from there. And his roommate heard it and said, I can run with that. And he was inside for 30 minutes or something, and
I'd
came
say
back out.
the length of a cigarette.
Yeah.
We were sitting there just hashing stuff out. Literally, we had our guitars on. Jake is humming kind of the melody, and we're just playing this riffing on this thing with the drum track, and he's just sitting there smoking a cigarette, and he starts writing, and then he's casually, well, this is what I got.
He hands me a
takes
piece of
picture
paper.
of it. I didn't know what was going to happen too. Jake just takes the picture and it's yeah, I think I could do something with it. And next practice a week later, it fit perfectly. I was like, oh man.
Just took we ended up using, if you're excluding the hook line or whatever, we probably used a good 80% of everything that he wrote. And he's on the credits for it and all that stuff.
That's
so
awesome.
He did a good job. And
So that's probably, I would say that has turned into one of your most popular songs, right? And that's the story behind it. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
That really has, some depth to it. I like that a lot.
it was a cool experience. It was kind of weird going from you guys didn't like it to I showed you guys.
So the next song you played, again, another original called Sweet Thing. So tell me about that.
That song was from me trying to remember how the hell to play. What was it? What's the dang song? The Wait by the band. I couldn't remember the intro to it, and I screwed it up and I came up with that riff because I was like, oh, that sounded pretty cool. And we needed something. We were playing the blues competition, or Blues Society. Yeah, Blues Society competition, and. Played up at the Canes Ballroom, but you had to have you got essentially bonus points if you were able to play an original song. We didn't have any at the time because we had just pretty much just gotten rolling, and so we needed something that fit. And I just stumbled on it 3-4 days before we were supposed to go on. We're like, oh, that works, and so it ended up being pretty perfect for the situation. We won that thing too, based off of
Yeah, and that's what's actually led to us being able to even record Red-Eyed Women, which was also
Teresa was a judge.
Yeah, because we won that, and Teresa was the judge, and she's like,
Thank you,
"Guys,
Teresa."
You got reward of a free session.
Yeah, so through that we got Red-Eyed Women, and then he hit up another one of his buddies that did the filming for our stuff, and then we did Whipping Post, and we did It's Over Now, Babe, which I know will come up because we did that song too in the first 4.
So would you say that has been one of your most memorable experiences as a band? Creating that whole thing with the original song, winning the blues thing, then it partly, you parlayed that into studio time, and Buddy came.
I think it definitely was a turning point because Sky and I have been in this band the longest out of anybody here, and we always were back and forth with the other members about not wanting to be a bar band that just plays covers and stuff. That's not the goal. And so that kind of opened the door for the very first time to say that people like what you're doing, and it's more than just playing some smoky shack essentially. So
So when you do your original stuff, how does that impact you as an artist? You know, because from playing covers to then when you do an original song and you see, you know, obviously the crowd, you know, really enjoyed everything you did down there today. How does that impact? The first time you did it, do you remember?
the first time we played a show of all originals was actually pretty recently at the Shrine. We opened up for Ian Moore, and he's an awesome player. It was a sold out show, and when we played, it was the first time that every single song that first of all, everybody's really engaged, which is great. It's not like you're just the background people that somebody hired to be there, but every song we played, they went crazy for, and it's that validation after working so hard for so long that kind of says people are actually liking what you're doing. It's not some made up thing. And then essentially from there, it's kind of the same feeling today. It's a smaller crowd, obviously, because we're trying to cram everybody in the studio, but it's a moment of relief for sure to not have to be going down the same old cover roll.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Call today now, little Rosie. Call today now, brother John. Call today now, sweet lady. 'Cause in the morning I'll be gone. 'Cause in the morning I'll be gone. Hit it, baby. Whatever happened to a sweet thing? Now a sweet thing like mine. Whatever happened to my lady? I used to see my baby all the time. I used to see my baby all the time. Now whatever happened to the good old days? Now the sun don't shine. I'm slipping to my dark old way. Somebody throw me a line. Somebody throw me a line. Come on, throw it to me. Come on, baby. So come and save me, little Rosie. Now come and save me, brother John. Come and save me, little lady. 'Cause in the morning I'll be gone. 'Cause in the morning I'll be gone. Come on, Greg. just like that. Oh, it belongs in a magazine. Time is standing still, girl, but she still waits for me. I know that you make me wanna scream. I come back home, baby. Slow down, don't think too hard about it. She got a slow motion strut. That's how it all got started. She's so smooth. I think this is a robbery. She gon' lock me up, and I'll throw away the key. I lock 'em up, stick 'em up, I'm begging please. All I want now, baby, she's all I need. She's all I want now. She's all I need.
So the third song that you played was All I Need, another original. Tell me about that.
That song stemmed from, we had a riff it was pretty cool. We didn't know where to go with it. The bridge section actually was completely different, almost went like hard rock. And keyboard player kind of turned that around to make it a little, Bex, to make it more, I don't know, Motowny kind of feeling. But that all came from, it was totally different lyrics. And I was at the office one day. My wife, who's here behind there, we were in the car, and there's a song by the Rolling Stones called "Slave," which is a really cool, funky song. And I was like, I could totally picture if you were in like one of those movies, like those like slow-mo movie scenes where they start playing that, and it's like you're walking into something like slow motion. So I was trying to come up with the lyrics to it, and I was at the office, and I was like, just slow down with what you're doing and don't think too hard about it, which became the first lyric of the whole song. And then she's got a slow motion strut. That's how this all got started, which is exactly how that got going. And then the rest kind of just happened from there. But the lyrics were completely different at the time.
I love that.
Yeah,
That's
so-
really good.
So
Tell me about a time when you faced a significant challenge in your career. And how did you overcome that? Or did you? What
I'd say there's multiple challenges. One of the biggest challenges to being in a band is probably that, like in a regular work setting, you can be more ruthless, I guess. You can like you don't know these people well in a regular setting, but when you're in a band with somebody, at least a good band that's tight, you create honestly a family, and you're married to however many people are in your band. So I'm married to 5 people, if you include my wife, and
the legal one.
the legal one, yes. But you're in a marriage with people, and so it's like there's going to be fights, and there's going to be disagreements, but then the band also has to push forward. And in a band, everybody has to know that the music takes precedent. So that's probably one of the biggest challenges for me. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah,
but
what about you guys?
You guys got any thoughts on that?
Talk about it. Ian, Paul, Sky, come on.
Go on.
Okay, well, Paul, you're getting a little red in the face there, so now I need to hear this.
I am.
You got anything, Sky, that's a challenge to you?
The challenge for me, I'm 42, and I've been doing this. I started playing when I was 14. I started playing here in Tulsa when I was 26. And so I've been grinding at this for a long time. So I know one of the things that makes it hard for me, and I always love this. I heard someone talking about Jaco Pastorius going to, Jaco was going to see, I forget the drummer that was playing with Weather Report at the time, or possibly going to play with Weather Report. And he just went to see him as he was getting to know him because he had a gig, and the dude had to go jump on the drums. And Jaco's like, all right, man, have fun, right? And it sounds so basic, and people say that to us all the time. But I don't know, maybe just because I can be a Debbie Downer at times. Sometimes I struggle because I'm working, because we are playing some of the same stuff all the time. So I would say to be able to remember that it is play, you know, that it is to play music, and that's supposed to be fun.
Well, yeah, and
That's
to
a
keep
struggle for me after so long of doing the same
to
thing.
keep a positive attitude when the day sucks. That's for sure. Because you and I have talked about that before. Some gigs you just do not want to, like, you're ready to get out of there. and trying to remember that there's one person in the audience that's probably actually really enjoying it, to play for them or even for yourself, and remind yourself that you're doing this for a reason is another important key factor for sure. The other thing too is this is on top of a full-time job. A lot of other people, including myself, Sky being one of them, and Ian, are all working full-time jobs during the day. So the other really hard part is navigating family and relationships and all of that stuff around all of this, because I mean you're married to the music, and a lot of times that makes people feel like they're second to what you're doing, even if you're not trying to make them feel that way.
Very true. Very true. How about you, Ian?
Everything they just said is spot on.
Yeah.
Scheduling is a big deal because you have a busy day job, and then sometimes it's tough to run home, throw everything in the car, take a shower, be there, then be out till 2.
You shower?
Yeah, occasionally. It's hard out here, dude.
Sometimes. All right, Polly, you're up.
About what?
Yeah.
He used to deal with us.
He's talking.
That's it. That's
I
it.
just kind of let people do the thing.
So, what challenges do you face being a musician,
Just-
and how do you overcome them?
Well, I mean, sometimes like when you're a hired gun, you've got as many as 160 songs going through your head, so you're just like, ugh, trying to scramble it all, get it all figured out. Sometimes you have to chart things. Sometimes other things just come quick. It just depends on the songs and the gig.
His first
Sometimes, I mean, like if you've got like 3 gigs that week and they happen to be different ones, you're like, oh.
his first gig with us was actually here. Believe it or
Yeah.
not, of all things,
Yeah.
we were recording in we let our old drummer go, and essentially we had already been talking. He was actually replacing him for a gig that he couldn't do.
I was
And-
filling in for a show
Yeah.
for Jeff at Baggies, and then that just turned into.
And we were like,
I
well-
want to join the band. We're recording in 2 weeks.
Yeah, we're like, we got 2 weeks, and then he's like, okay, and I mean, granted, he learned all the stuff that we went through. We did a lot of songs that day. He kicked butt, but
Wow.
yeah.
That's impressive. That's cool. That's really cool. So the last song that you did that is an original is "It's All Over, Babe." We were talking about that a little bit before the show. So tell me more about that.
It's Over Now, Babe is another song that before we came into the studio the first time that we were here, we were trying to cram as much, like we were super excited and everybody's pumped up and we're rehearsing nonstop, and it became like go time. I'm probably guilty in some instances, but I'm also glad that I set this like unrealistic deadline to get everything done. But I also know that if you give musicians enough time, they'll procrastinate forever. So it's like, and I'm one of them for sure. So it was like just throwing everything at the wall and seeing what sticks. And that was just one of the songs that came out. It had, I'm very against trying to make all of the songs sound the same, and I don't want to fall into the same category of everybody who's making like a song in 1/4/5 and going to the studio, and to me I'm not saying it all sounds the same, but it doesn't have any flavor of what I'm looking for. And so that song was kind of different, and it just really quickly kind of took off. And our other guitarist who's played with us was here with us during that, Barry Seal. He helped kind of come up with the chord changes over that, and it kind of became a more southern influenced deal.
And that's a banger.
I know Ian likes that tune too.
I love that
That's one of his
tune.
favorites.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite changes in it. Just because I don't know, it's a vibe.
Yeah.
It's a cool song.
Got some country
I dig
in
playing
there,
it. Yeah. I dig Greg's piano solo.
Oh, Greg's piano on that is
Man,
that's
Greg
awesome.
hits me in the feels every time. It's good stuff.
It shucks.
It shucks. Yeah.
Yeah, the next one that you did, which was Using Me, that was a I didn't expect that, I guess I should say. And
Yeah.
you
That's
guys really,
intentional.
you guys really smoked that. That was really good.
So our it's so hard to pick the songs that you're gonna do when you're given a short time period because we're so used to playing for like 3 to 4 hours usually, and it's kind of funny because you take those for granted and then you realize, oh crap, we can't fit everything in that we wanted to fit in. So we normally actually do a lot more funky stuff, but we had to kind of pick and choose what it was, and that's a great one to highlight. Sky's playing, so, and it's one of my favorites to kind of just lean back on because it's got a really good dynamic range the way that we go around it. So that's why we chose that one. But yeah, it's definitely
I
different
could
compared
see
to all
that
the
in
other
a,
stuff.
if you played it the way you played it here in a club, I could see a lot of people doing like this. You know?
Depends what club. Sometimes it's just background music, right? It's like, oh, the bass solo's taking a solo, or bass taking a solo, let's go get a drink.
No, I wouldn't. I would have stayed because that was good.
Yeah.
Moby Dick.
Sky's from outer space on the bass. You know?
Yeah,
I was
he is.
pretty nervous today, though, with that, like playing in a crowd as it was set up like that. They weren't here for any other reason but us. And so it was quiet,
Nice.
they were looking at us. It was just different energy. So yeah, my hands were like, what do they do?
Talladega Nights, you don't know what to do with your hands.
They're just stuck.
All you do, you just give Leon a tap, right right there, and he's with you.
There was no Leon down there.
So tell me, who's been the most? I want you all to answer this, okay? Who has been the most influential person in your musical career? Jake, we'll start with you.
Okay. Mine is definitely Jimmy Page. Everybody's heard me preach this a million times. And I'm not saying that by any means he's, the greatest guitar player ever or anything like that. I remember the moment that I heard, and I had heard Zeppelin beforehand, but it's like the moment you really heard Zeppelin. I was getting on the bus to go to school. Then I heard a Communication Breakdown on my headphones at like full blast, and that was the first time. Maybe it's the testosterone of being like a young boy, but I hear the riff and I'm like, oh, that's cool. Whatever the heck that was cool, and maybe want to go back and like really learn how to play guitar. Not because I had played guitar, but that one made me want to actually sit down and learn what was going on. And I think what I appreciated about it was that he's a sloppy guitar player. But slop can be good, I guess is what I'm getting at, because you can feel his playing regardless of how technically proficient he is. And not to mention, it's kind of like Leon. He was on so many studio tracks, it's ridiculous. Before Zeppelin, I think there's some number that they like estimate he was on something like 60 to 70% of all tracks that came out of England in some period of time, and that's during the British invasion. So that's saying something. So it's definitely my favorite player, and he wrote some great songs.
Yeah. How about you, Paul?
I don't have like one guy. I like so many different drummers. Depends, like songwriters, drummers, like Don Henley or Phil Collins, of course John Bonham, Buddy Rich. It's all over the place.
Yeah.
So
do you listen to anybody like on a regular?
From just like a drum perspective,
Yeah.
not really.
No.
No, I mean, like, it just kind of, I like some of the studio guys too out of Nashville. Like Greg Morrow is a guy that I'm really a big fan of. Who else? Matt Chamberlain. He's kind of played with a bunch of different artists.
I know that Paul, speaking for because I know he doesn't listen to just a drummer, and a lot of good musicians don't just listen to the guitarist. And I can tell you why I think somebody's good, but he's a songwriter too as a drummer. So I think he's listening to at least I'm not speaking for you, but I think you've said it a million times. He's like, I'm listening to the whole thing. I'm not listening to just the drums. So one thing that makes Paul so great and makes everybody in here so good is that you're not just playing because you want to play. Like if I wanted to play like Jimmy Page on every album, we wouldn't get anywhere because we'd be ripping off somebody else.
Right.
We're all playing to the song and what the song needs, not like, oh, we're playing to the song, but I want to do it in the style of Ringo Starr, So I guess that's.
And people pick up on that, I mean, it's really easy to pick up on.
It's all about the song.
Yeah.
It is all about the song.
Yeah. And lyrics will, they have the ability to really do some stuff to you.
Well, absolutely. And there's been ways we've played songs before, regardless of our influences, that like the last song we were just recording was All I Need. And we had a way that it was going to go. We knew what the plan was. And then we got in the studio with Greg and Ian, and in the middle of sound check, Ian plays something. And I'm like, well, whatever the heck that was, you need to do that again. And we had no idea what it was going to be. I was like, you're going to play background guitar on some of this stuff, and you don't have a choice. And then that literally reshaped the entire song, and all it was his style of playing. So,
That's pretty cool. That's great. How about you, Ian?
Well, early on it was Jimi Hendrix, of course, everybody loves Jimmy, and then Billy Gibbons from ZZ Top, like the early ZZ Top albums. Those really hit me hard. And then nowadays it's like Guthrie Trapp and Tom Bukovac, a couple guys out of Nashville.
Book.
Yeah, they hit me in the feels also.
Nice.
Yeah,
Good
that
stuff.
guy's awesome.
And how about you, Scott?
So you see my style, it's definitely, I took a lot from Victor Wooten. But the reason that I usually say he's my favorite is not necessarily, or he's the most influential or inspirational. It's not because his technical ability or his musicianship. It's because just his kind of life philosophy. So I actually grew up listening to Tool and Nine Inch Nails. Man, I was just an angry little, adolescent. And so Slayer, I saw Pantera so many times in the 90s. I was up my alley, right? And when I first heard Victor Wooten, it just changed me. Because I don't come from a musical family. And so I heard that and I was like, I didn't think there was anyone better than Cliff Burton from Metallica, right? So I was like, man, this just blew my mind.
Yeah.
And then the internet was just starting. I don't think Google was a thing, right? But I used it. I knew we could find stuff on there. And I went and started looking everything about Victor up. And got all his videos, and I read his book, and he always quotes, and this is why he's my favorite, because he quoted his mom, and he still does this, and he says, I guess, as he was talking to his mom, saying, I want to be a musician when I grow up, and he was like, Victor, why do you want to be a musician? The world has enough good musicians. The world needs good people, right? And that's great. Not to say that Trent Reznor isn't a good person. He's awesome. He's awesome. They're great. It's just that I was so sucked into that world of self-destruction and to the point of romanticizing it. And here comes someone that is just shredding like no other and didn't have to destroy himself in the process, or at least give me that, because I was already susceptible to that. I was impressionable, right? And so I hold on to that. And it's proven true. It's like, what I'm trying to do in the end is about relationship with everyone. That's what we do with music. That wouldn't have happened today and there if you weren't there giving me your attention. That energy needs to flow between two things. And so if I get lost in only the music, I'm just thinking about what I'm getting from your attention. And that becomes kind of selfish, I think. And it can happen easily because a lot of ego.
That's another quote that Victor did. I read it just recently. He says, I want to play music so I can be we. Yeah. And I think that really embodies Victor's whole spirit, because him and those brothers are just, tell us, you went and saw them at...
I went to the recent concert here in Tulsa, but last year, and that's what was cool, because it actually coincided with maybe on the day anniversary of going to the camp, which I'd been wanting to do for 20 years. When I originally got on the whatever World Wide Web, whatever we were calling it in 2000, that's what I saw, that camp. And I'd wanted to go for 20 years until last year I got to go. And so they were there, the Wooten brothers were there, and that whole thing, it's like that. He's eating with you. He's not high and mighty, It's like, I remember one time we were up we were playing on the stage late at night. We'll always go late because all musicians talk too much, like I'm doing right now. And but we're up on this main stage and we're playing. We get done with the lesson, and then all these amps are there, all his amps, and everyone just gets to play them. So everyone's just noodling around like a bunch of musicians would do. And this is 1 o'clock at night, maybe. Victor's wife was trying to get him to go to bed. And he's like, he jumps up on stage and he's like in a group of like 4 of us, just showing us his tapping techniques and stuff. And it's like, you hear his wife like, Victor, let's go. You know, he's like, and she's awesome too. It's not like she was being grumpy. No, she was just tired because it's a full day of that. He wakes up at 7 in the morning with you, and usually one of the last people to go to sleep. He'll talk to all of them there, and it's like, it's just cool. That's an example of how he's able to honor what his mom gave him, that wisdom she gave him growing up, and he's still going strong. So it's cool.
So how you guys doing? You okay?
I think we're better than okay.
Okay.
great.
All right. All right. I'm just making sure you're still with us.
No, we're good.
Sorry.
No, you were.
Oh, it's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
I'm used to having late night conversations with Sky till like 2 in the morning.
Oh, right. So we'll plug where can we find your music?
You can find what we've released. You can find pretty much anywhere. You can find it on YouTube. You can find it on Spotify, everywhere else, iTunes. There's just not a lot of it out there. The goal is we've been getting really, really busy trying to actually get into the studio. We'll have another one released here pretty soon. It's being mastered this week.
All I need.
All I Need.
We recorded that at Closet Studios with Kendall Osborne producing, and he did great. So
He's awesome.
We're just trying to
Really
squeeze
good.
in what we can where we can, and that turned out to be one of those magical recording sessions. Just felt it, and so we'll get that out, and then we just talked the other day saying, well, what's next? And so that's up for discussion, but we've got stuff ready to go. We just,
6-song EP on vinyl.
we just got to pick one.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys play out a lot in the Tulsa area?
Yes.
Yeah. It's usually where we are. We pretty much any club that'll have us that's got the right setup, we'll play at.
Nice.
Just-
Clubs and/or casinos or just
Yeah.
wherever. Yeah.
Oh, right on. That's
Yeah.
great. Well, thank you guys so much for being here. I really
Thanks for
really
having us.
Hey,
appreciate
thank
the
you.
time. You guys really rocked it, and I know it's probably difficult sitting up here.
Oh, no, I'm not worried.
After
I
a gig,
do this
after a
all
set. So, but thank you so much. I appreciate your openness, and I really appreciate you being here. It was really great meeting all of you.
Well, thank you.
So,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having
using the
us.
lie detector out. Thank you.
Hey.
Rock on, y'all.
Walking in and stepping out. Here we go, hugging darling on a roundabout. Yeah, I've been down for 7 days, and night at once, honey, has my love begun to fade. Hanging around, but you know that you never came. Oh yeah, it's over now, babe. Take me, my riverboat queen, and show me the places that I ain't never seen. Lead me from your back door. Take me around front, sugar, and let's do it once more. We don't need to wait. We could take it so nice and slow. Oh yeah, it's over now, babe. stepping out. Here we go, hugging darling on the roundabout. I've been down on bended knee. I'm begging you, darling, begging you, please. And I don't think that I can wait that long. Oh, yeah, it's over now, babe. Thank you very much.